I would say for anybody that's out there it is creating something and something happens, it doesn't mean that that's the end of it. I kind of like lost the inspiration for Studio 999, you know what I mean? Like
Meet JP, an entrepreneur who's mastered the barber game. From shop floors to studio ownership, his drive to learn fuels his mission to deliver the best cuts in the city.
like say if you're a weekly client and she still takes an hour and 30 minutes, I think that's kind of crazy. There's nothing wrong with renting a chair, right? There's nothing wrong with renting a chair. There's nothing wrong to being like loyal to your barbershop. It just depends on the individual person. Like, what do you want to?
What makes a great barber, you think, in this industry, you think?
What makes a great barber? That's
Welcome to the pod.
so,
Thank you for coming out here, man. San Antonio. I know it's a little drive, all the New Braunfels and stuff.
yeah.
It's a nice little drive, though, coming out here once in a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just throw on a podcast and the drive, So yeah.
So tell me something, man. What do you do beginning of the day? What's your routine look like every morning?
I like that you brought this up, man, because I feel like in the industry that I am in, like if the service industry is just like you kind of have to, um, you have to give some time to yourself. So I mean, in the morning, ultimately is your. I'm not gonna give you no David Goggins like I wake up and I yell at myself in the mirror or something like that. No, I wake up, man, and ultimately is that I try to give myself some time, physical activity. I like to work out, uh, run, go to the gym, do those things, and a big thing for me is just um, I would say just kind of just plan out my day for the rest of the day, see what I have, and then that's where I get, and then. I think the most important part is nutrition and just put some food in your body and makes you feel good. So
A lot of entrepreneurs say that, like, the most important thing, because, like, yes, people say work hard, do this, do that, be consistent, learn the craft. Uh, little details matter at the end of the day. But also, the most important thing that people overlook is health.
yeah,
Health and diet.
yeah.
Because without that, you're kind of like
This
burnt
the
out.
thing is that everybody says is health is wealth.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, and uh, I would say throughout my life and just throughout just my career is like proper planning will get you into the positions that you want to be into. So just planning, and then like I said, back to it goes back to what I said earlier is that in the industry I'm in, service industry, being a barber, being an esthetician, a hairstylist, all those things, like you just have to give yourself so much time. You have to you give so much time to other people, but like it's like, well, when is that time for yourself? And for me, it's the mornings, man. I get my I make sure I block off some time and be like, hey, I'm working out, I'm doing this, and starts off my day nice, so.
And then what time do you typically start the day? Around 10, 11-ish, or a little bit earlier?
Uh, it depends on the day, man, but I would say like if it's the weekday, um I would say like about like 9:30, 10, but like if it gets closer to like the weekend, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's a little more earlier, so I'll start the day at 8 a.m., stuff like that. So just trying to for my aspect is like, I love cutting hair. Just don't want to live there. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So a lot of people are like, well, you basically live in the barbershop. I'm like, you don't have to. Like you don't really have to. But for me, I start off my days usually pretty early, like 10, and then once it gets more closer to like the Fridays, when people really want haircuts, Fridays, Saturdays. It's like 8 in the morning. Yeah.
Gotcha. Also, you've been in the industry for how many years?
Dude, honestly, I only been in the industry for like 2 years, bro. I got out of the military. I was a Marine and got out of the military and I did not know what I wanted to do. I think at that time I was like working what people say is like a 9 to 5, but I just say it's just a job. I was just working a job and I was getting paid good, but in my opinion, it was just like I couldn't. It didn't give me anything in life. Like it didn't make me feel like accomplished or something like that. So I ended up finding barbering, and yeah. So barbering is always. I've always watched videos. You know how people will be talking about like the the funny thing of people will be watching what are they called, the people making like the little houses and like at midnight or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I for some reason like what was on my thing was like barbering. It was just always barbering on YouTube or something. I was always watching.
So the 2 years you've been there, you learned a lot, obviously, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
experience all types of hairstyles and everything. What makes a great barber, you think, in this industry, you think?
What makes a great barber? That's a tricky question, and ultimately, I think it just dictates on who that person is, who that individual is, because at the end of the day, like, um, it's all the same craft
Mm-hmm.
throughout the round. It's just I'm just taking off hair, right? I'm just taking off hair. I'm building shapes, or I'm doing. That's the way I see it. But ultimately, it just depends on who that person is, because at the end of the day, take away the title, you're still a human being, So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I think that's what makes a barber a barber, So, you being a barber doesn't make you be a hard worker, Like
Mm-hmm.
if you took, like I said, like if you took the title away, like if you're not a hard worker at all, like I mean, you probably won't succeed as a barber, So
Mm-hmm.
and so I answering your question, I think it's the person that
Depends.
it depends on, yeah.
Also, your clientele will tell you. You'll find out if it's meant for you or not. At times,
Oh,
there's a lot of, you get new
yeah.
clients, and then next thing you know, they're there for a couple months, and they go somewhere else, or like something happens. What's your outlook on that? Like, how do you keep a client staying consistently? Is it by building connection, building like a sense of like trust?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it leads down to a there's multiple things that tie into it, like simple as a conversation, a conversation, consistency with a haircut. You know what I mean? Like if I give me your haircut and one side is being higher than the other, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna come back to me. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure most times like a client will probably give you like that one chance. And there's a rare occasions where there's like they just don't know,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know, so it's obviously, building a relationship. I think that's the most important part is building a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I think people fear that of being like, oh, like no, like some of these people like say if you're getting married, like I would love my barber to be there,
Mm-hmm.
because that's somebody that I go to, and just in the service industry in general, like they call us like the therapists. No, they're real therapists, So uh, it's just making a comfortable environment, making people feel comfortable, and uh, I mean we I don't sell haircuts, I sell confidence, So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I do. So
It's a great quote.
yeah, so it's a lot of people think it's corny, but it's real,
No,
it's
for real.
really real, So it's crazy to see somebody sit down in your chair and then
You
they're
see,
smiling, they're smiling, and it makes you feel good. And that's why I got into the trade. I got into the profession. Is just I mean, I like to make people feel good, so
it's like this one quote. It says that finding a good barber is like finding a good lawyer. You have to go to that same guy consistently.
exactly.
Once you find that good one and you feel like you feel comfortable and stuff,
Yeah.
go for it. I've always been a guy who's always been like trying different barbers here and there and stuff like that. I never really had a barber
Yeah.
to say. And I don't know what that means or anything, but I don't know if that's a red flag or is it not. I don't know how barbers see that type of person because I know there's a people you see people like
Yeah.
that like constantly they're here for a month and next year they're gone for a couple months and they come back.
Yeah.
I just kind of like just random pop
Yeah.
ups.
I mean, if for the way I see it is just it's just life in general.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, a lot of them have different different jobs or just things, like some people are just, flying everywhere, doing whatever that they do, or just they're just not consistent. What I mean? Like I have clients that I see like every 6 months, and I know they're gonna come in with a mop on their head, and it's okay. Like I don't take it personally, Like my thing is like, uh, I know what product I give out, so it's just like I know every time they come in my chair, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know, homeboy didn't come to me last time, or I saw him on somebody's story or something. Like, no, it's nothing bad.
As this one said, don't take anything personal in life.
Yeah.
But it's a hard practice to do at times, right?
Yeah, don't take anything personally. I actually just read a book about that, and it's called The Four Agreements,
I love that book.
and that's one of them. Don't take anything personally, and I truly believe that, man.
What is the best thing that you learned out of that book, you think? 'Cause I read it too. It's pretty good, dude.
I would say is a big thing that I learned in that book was basically like patience, you know, like that's kind of then he doesn't really say it in the book, but
Mhm.
it kind of just looks what it is like.
I feel like the whole book is it's about patience.
Yeah,
Because remember, it's all about don't talk behind people's back.
yeah,
The power of the word is really powerful.
yeah,
Instead of someone saying something negative about a
yeah.
person, it can actually come into
Yeah,
life.
Phil says like don't be impeccable with your words. So, you
Exactly.
know, so
It's very important just to sometimes like, is it really worth saying that out loud? Really?
exactly.
Just keep it to yourself at times, you know?
Yeah,
There's like it's a practice of what to say and what not to say at times. Because we're human beings, we're always gonna say some crazy,
yeah.
crazy stuff sometimes, you know? When we're in the mood or we're with a group of buddies or something like that, it just kind of slips
But
out.
it kind of ties in, and I read it because like you know I've read it multiple times, but the way I do it is like it can tie into anything in your life. Like this, the same things like barbering, like tying it, you know, like uh how you're asked, you know, does it bother you if somebody's like going? No, it doesn't. Like I don't take it any personally. At the end of the day, I know what I like I said, like I know what I do, and you know,
Mhm.
and I know what they do. If they can give a better product, then man, go over there. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean?
Feel that?
That's the way I see it. Yeah. So
So the main thing is your company, Studio 99,
yeah.
right? How did that even start? Like, were you talking to your wife, or it just came out in your head one day, or you're kind of like, we're sitting on it for a good minute.
Okay, so studio, so is break I'll break it down for you. Studio 999, like three nines, right?
Mhm.
So
Did I say
studio,
99?
yeah, 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 no, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Everybody, dude, everybody does it, but Studio 999 is basically a thing that we're creating in the sense of like the people that are gonna be at like because or let me just give you some breakdown. Me and my wife were making a a shop, right?
Right.
And our shop was like a his and hers. There was a barber shop, and then my wife is an esthetician, and so she was gonna have you know other people in there like waxers, you know people that do nails, stuff like that. So each we the way we got studio is basically like each individual person will have like their own studio, you know, like
Mhm.
their own thing that they did, and that's what we did. And then 999 was have you ever heard of angel numbers?
Yes.
So her angel number is she literally has it tattooed on her. It's 444, right? And then mine was 555. And and I had just always been drawn to fives. I love fives.
What did the 555 mean? Did you look at it?
Change. It means
Yeah.
change, you know? And and then if you as simple as like just adding them together, 999, and that's what we got. And I think if don't quote me, we probably had to look at this, but
Let me see. I'm looking up right now.
999, I think it means new beginnings. I think it does. It's kind of crazy because it's my brand, right? I should know it, but
Charlie, man, I forget about stuff.
but no, it means new beginnings. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure it's new beginnings.
I did have a angel number two at times when I was going through some stuff for my head and stuff after
Yeah.
surgery. I would always see 911.
Okay.
911. It said, yeah, 999 signifies completion and new beginnings.
Yeah. So
Sure.
that's what it was for us. So uh to break it to just make it short and simple is basically, you know, new beginnings for everybody, you know, and we just wanted to put up make up an environment that everybody can, you know, grow and just become who they want to be. So
I did see that studio when in the beginning and stuff.
yeah.
It was really nice setup. It was the barber where the boys can hang out and the women
Yeah,
can go do their stuff and then can meet up
exactly.
in the middle, look how fly they look in the end, and then just go home and do whatever they got to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that was a challenge. You would like to share what that part of your life a little bit?
Man, that was a oh man, it was a
Let's break it down for like people don't really know what's going.
yeah, yeah. So like I said, we were creating a place, a barbershop slash like um salon, I would say, you know, for so it was like a his and hers thing. I was the barber, obviously I was the barber side of it. So I would have had like 8 barbers at that time, and then she would have had like 3 or 4 people that do nails or whatever they want to do over there. And we were creating that and you know, building it up and stuff like that. Invested a lot of money into it. Um and then just certain situations happen, and I think what was even harder was like around the time like we're literally getting married, you know? And I think the time that we made the decision to leave, to get out of that because it just none of the things made sense to us, and none of the things connected, and it just sounded like more of a loss than anything.
Mhm.
So it was definitely it was a difficult time, you know. Sometimes I reflect on it. I look at pictures of it and I'm like, dang man, like, you know, but uh I would say for anybody that's out there that's it is creating something and something happens, it doesn't mean that that's the end of it, you know? That's not it's not the end of it. Maybe it's just a bump in the road that you have to, you know, go over and then start it over again, you know? So after that, I mean, we're literally getting married, right? We're getting married Friday the 13th in September, and we're moving out on that Monday of our wedding week, you know? I remember having our friends over. We had some friends over from California. Shout out to John and Sam. They came out and they helped us move, you know, and also just many friends, you know, that helped us. And we moved out and we kind of just closed that side of that you know, just that chapter, you know, just close it and keep moving. So
It's like the one saying is like it wasn't meant for you yet.
yeah, yeah,
It wasn't meant for you. Like
yeah,
one day, watch, you and your wife are gonna look back at this at 15, 20 years from now. You're gonna be like, I'm glad that happened because we
yeah.
learned a lot from it.
No, exactly. And like
Mm.
I think the I think the biggest thing we learned is like I would say for myself was like it's like basically as simple as it happens, you know, it happens. And should it have happened? No, you know, but things happen and that's life and you just got to keep going, you know. So for a while I after that I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of like lost the inspiration for Studio 999, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I think I went to a barber shop for the first time and I remember trying to keep it there and stuff like that, but it was kind of hard because, you know, working in a barber shop that is named as something else and then having studio, you know, but I found ways to implement it and then now you know, we're back on track, you know, like
Mhm.
for me, I took it over. So, of
It you gotta hit a little bit in the bottom to just hit that spark again a little bit. You know.
course, yeah, sometimes you gotta fall down to get back up and keep going, you know?
Well, it's like it's go back to like David Goggins and stuff. Like you
Yeah.
hear all these people and like we're young. There's nothing holding us back. Just go for it. Just
Yeah.
keep going. Because I feel like there is this one quote that says that people who give up too early end up for like what's that saying? People who give up too early in their business usually means that they're close to their destination and goals at
Yeah,
times.
exactly.
You know, just a little bit more, maybe a year, 3 years, four,
Yeah.
5, 10 years, a little bit more can actually hit you where you want to be in
Well,
life.
one of the biggest inspirations, I don't know if you remember it, but I had a mural in there, and it was Nipsey Hussle, and his thing is the marathon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's always said like it's a marathon, not a sprint. And now looking back at it, it is it is a marathon. You know, you got to go through, you know. And I've ran marathons, you know, so I ran one marathon, and it was my first one ever, and I'm like it's hard, you know, it sucks, you know, it was like, you're like, why is my feet, you know, I'm bleeding and blistering and, you know, and, but it's a life lesson at that, you know, so it just means just keep going, you know, like I always tell everybody, keep going, you know, keep going. So,
That's the best way to do it.
yeah.
No, don't hold yourself back. The only person that's gonna motivate you to do stuff is yourself.
Yeah.
At
I
the end of
mean,
the day.
yeah. At the end of the day, you look at yourself in the mirror every single day. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
So whenever there's only one thing that I'm very curious about the bar industry is like as you as a barber, you're an artist, obviously, right? You're doing the stuff like that. Do you constantly have to keep working on your craft to get better and better, or can like it was like muscle memory? You can just cut hair, like for example, you can cut hair for a month, one day, right?
yeah.
Let's say you're an expert for a couple years already. You say you cut hair for one day out of the month, and then the next following month you still have that same skill, or it's like a type of skill that you constantly have to keep on working on to
Um,
maintain it.
it's, I could say it's a little bit of both, but I feel like it's more of like you have to be consistently on it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a thing that you build an eye for, you know? So we call it like the barber eye. So
Mm-hmm.
like say if I take somebody random, you know, from or one of my clients and I told him like, look at this fade, what do you think about it? He'd be like, man, that thing's blurry, you know? And then you put me in it or so another barber, they're like, nah, you need to you need to touch that up, or you need to do this, or
Mm.
so it's an eye that you build, but I think ultimately that like the mechanics is like riding a bike, like if you just um I mean, I haven't rode a bike in a long time, but I'm pretty sure if I get on the bike, I know how to ride a bike.
Mhm.
So it's the same things, but it's just like it's like a finesse that you learn. So that's the way I see it.
I get you, I get you. It's a little bit both, makes sense.
Yeah.
Does it take a specific person to be in this industry, you think?
Um
Or you think
I think it definitely takes uh it takes a specific person, and sometimes I think to reach to those levels that like there's like crazy barbers, like you know uh I think it takes a special person at that. Like if you have a a dream goal in mind, I think but I mean it depends. It really depends on what your goals are, but I mean I think anybody can pick up a pair of clippers and cut hair. It's just if you're passionate about it. It's an art form, right? So it's
it's
just
like anything else, right?
yes, like if you're passionate about it, like you'll stick to it and do it.
It's like there's times where you have long days, but after those long days, you're tired. You're kind of like, I don't want to do anything after work.
Yeah.
But you come back the next day, you're like, all right, let's get after it again. Like you love the craft, you love the hustle.
Yeah, no, definitely. Man, sometimes I'm there and about like couple 7, 8, 9 hours, 10 hours, in, and man, I know I can step back and be like, I'm like, does this even work?
Hmm.
Like I'm doing something I love to do. So it's like some of my days don't even feel like it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't. I'm not gonna lie, there's some days that I come in and I'm like, damn, but you know what I mean? I want to go home. I'm trying to get out of here, you know what I mean? But most days I'll take a step back and I'm like, man, I'm blessed and
Hmm.
this is not just I can't. Cause I be driving outside or I see these people doing construction and the damn heat, you know what I
The
mean?
choice,
No, exactly, but I'd
the
be
choice.
I'd be like, man, um, like this is something that provides for my family and feeds my family. So I'm like, man, I'm doing something I love to do. So yeah.
Whenever you were going through the barber school stuff, do a lot of stuff that they teach you in that school actually help you in real time, or you feel like it's like you're still learning every day in your craft? You feel like,
I think you learn,
mhm,
especially if you didn't know anything before. Of course, you learn, but I think it's a specific education that's towards you. So we have to take a state board exam. We had to take exams. We had to take like a practical and a written test, and you learn things. But I mean, um, I I would say like a lot of your learning is like in real time, like being in the shop or doing what you got to do. So.
hmm, got you. What was the hardest thing about learning about cutting hair? Was it the fading, or was it understanding the person's style?
I think the hardest part, what was the hardest part for me? I would say definitely the fading was pretty easy.
Really, I thought that'd be like the most. It's
Yeah,
like sometimes when I go get a haircut with a newbie or something,
yeah,
they take forever just trying to get the fade correct.
yeah,
They take like to keep changing clippers and all that stuff,
yeah,
and I'm like, all right, I get it. They're trying to leave me nice and
yeah,
good, but I feel like I guess maybe it's not the hardest, the most time consuming at first, right?
yeah. It is. It's definitely the most time consuming because you want to give anybody that cares about their product or what their service or whatever. Ultimately, they want you to leave like, yo, this is. So I found myself like that a couple times where I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, man, I gotta make it as blurry as possible, or I
Mm-hmm.
gotta make this fade.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say going back to your question, go back to your question is basically, I would say it was a mixture of all of it,
Mm-hmm.
but, like, combine it all and, like, do it. And I'm talking about, like, talk to them while you're cutting,
Mm-hmm.
have a conversation, building those relationships, doing all those things, and then ultimately having retention, like, how can I bring this person back in my chair? And ultimately, it's just all those things, all those things you gotta go through the line of doing that. So anybody that's come to me, like, brand new, like, I never cut their hair, you conduct a consultation and you ask them, like, this and that, and I'm a type of person, Imma ask you, like, a million questions, like,
Just trying to
you
figure
want
him out, right? Like, what's up?
don't get me wrong, if it's, like, some kid that comes in and he has some crazy hair and he's talking about he wants some dreads and you know what I mean? I'm like, "Dude, I can't do that," you know what I mean? I can't I'm not a magician, I'm a barber, but, uh,
Yeah,
no,
but
it's
people get that mixed up, right? The dreads is a whole different field, isn't it?
or yeah, it is a whole different field, but it's just like I would say I think dreads was the wrong way to say it, but I would say it's like more of like a style that they want that does not fit them. I'm like, bro, like I can't do that. Like there's some people that be wanting edge ups, and I'm like, deep. You got like 3 hairs on top of your head, bro. I can't do that. So
I feel that.
but I try it. But don't get me wrong. Like, so there's a thing in the barber shop is uh, like, is the barber wrong or is the client wrong? And it's just like
The majority of the time, what is it, you think? Both?
it's both, a little bit both.
Mhm.
Some barbers be saying that they can't do it, and I'm like, I ultimately think you can do it.
Mm.
That you can
It-
try.
Or they can be kind of lazy, like, I can do it, but I don't want to do it because I know how long it's going to take to do it.
Yeah,
Time.
no, exactly. And as a barber, it's kind of hard to. Well, it's not hard. I think it is hard for, I would say, certain barbers to be like, hey, that doesn't look good on you.
Mhm.
If they take that approach and have like a tactful way to say it, I think it's a hard thing to do, to be like, hey, bro, I don't think this will look good on you. But it takes a little time to like build that, where you can be like, hey, like, I think, if they want like a medium fade, and but they're asking for like a high fade, and you're like, hey, dude, I don't want to look, I don't, I think a medium fade would look good on you. So,
Yeah.
so
Hey, it's best, like, if that client already has and trust in you, right?
yeah.
Like,
And that's usually what happens. They're like,
Yeah.
work your magic. Literally every single time, work your magic. That's what they say.
it's like, you know what to do. Just go, then you look good.
But there's something about that. There's something about that that's kind of weird sometimes, where the clients will sit down,
Mhm.
they'll sit down and just be like, just do whatever you want, man. And I'm like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, she be bad.
You have to have, yeah. I mean, you have to have some type of input in it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
It's all about, if you care about your job and you care about your craft, you do the best you can.
Yeah,
What-
exactly.
Majority of the time.
Exactly.
What are your thoughts on beards and stuff like that? You think that was difficult to do, like doing everything sharp and edges, or because not every person is different in their beards.
Nah, but I would say definitely, if it came from like getting their hair done
Mhm.
to their beard, I would say they're a little separate. I think more people are more picky with their beard, like they don't want you to take too much hair off, but when they want their, and you're talking about their fade, they don't really care.
Yeah.
I think what it is like their fade is like kind of like on the side of their heads, but this beard, like, they see it all the time. So, but in terms of like fading hair and stuff like that, I think there's a certain way to fade it, like a beard, but I mean, it's the same technical skill, same skills,
Gotcha.
just a different hair pattern, or growth or something like that. So
I feel that. Man, oh man. But like, there is something that
or
I
I'll
was
ask you, like, how like when like they're doing your beard, do you get nervous or?
no, I
Huh?
feel like I just tell them, like, hey, just trim it a little bit off, just make it look sharp and the edges, just make sure it's not like, I don't want to see too much hair because I do have a thick beard,
Yeah,
but my head is more thin. So like they have a hard time sometimes, like making sure it's skin type of,
yeah. So like,
shave.
for your line right here, when they do the line work, what is it like? You try to keep it as high as possible
I feel like it kind of like I already have a line in place already.
in
With
place,
it,
right? Just, yeah,
it kind of just like the people already kind of like, okay, but just
Oh, yeah.
let's keep it the flow as like organic as possible, to
Yeah.
his
Because I would say, speaking about beards, I think that's like their main things. Like, don't bring this too high.
Mhm.
Don't make me look like I got a double chin,
Mm.
and don't bring this too low. To
Yeah.
make it look like I just got like a.
Yeah, because whenever I seen those La Raza Hispanics that do some like crazy like L shit, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my god,
that's crazy, right?
that's nasty, bro. I don't like that.
Surprisingly, I never had one, but I've had some. Have you ever heard of the Southside fade?
No,
Search it up.
what's up with that?
I've had somebody that said, like, man, give me a Southside fade, man. It, it's a crazy fade, man. It's a little different.
What do you think about the Edgar haircuts and stuff like Hector's? You've done those before already? What do you feel?
Yeah, I've done multiple ones, Edgar's. I mean, it's basically taking off nothing.
Is it this one?
Yeah, it's a
So
it's a Southside fade, man.
you done one of those before?
I've done a couple, yeah.
How does that work out? Jeez, how did
You kind of just leave this right here and just balled out all this.
What do you mean? I didn't even know that was a style. Is that like
Yeah,
a new
it's like-
train going on?
No, it's been going out. It's been years.
They have one right. I've seen some over here, and they have some in the very back too.
So that's a shag. They call that a shag, and I think, don't quote me on this. I think that started over 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 here in Texas as well.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because in Texas, we do have some gnarly hairstyles out here sometimes, man.
I mean, the Edgar. I mean, the mullet come back. I mean,
Mhm.
things like that. Shout out Theo Vaughn because he's the one that
Brought the mullet back for
I
sure.
think so, yeah.
Party in the back, former in the front type of
Yeah.
vibe. I feel that. But what is the main thing? I feel like most me getting my hair cut with many barbers,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I feel like there's something to it whenever having speed to it and also precise,
Yeah.
cutting style
Yeah.
for that specific client. Because right now I go to this one lady, she does my hair, she does all that stuff, but she takes about almost an hour and 30 minutes to do it.
Okay.
Right. And most of the time, I don't mind it, right? Or whatever.
It looks good.
Thank you.
It looks good, yeah.
She does a good job, but sometimes I'm kind of like almost falling asleep. I'm just like, but there's no conversation sometimes. In the beginning, we talk, and then the very like maybe 20 minutes in, I'm already like, all right, is this haircut worth all this time?
Yeah.
And then when I look at it, I'm like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
But then again, I was like, there's people who've been doing it for so long, they can do the same results in, like in 45 minutes or so.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, how do you get to that type of like skill?
It's just over time. I mean, like, some people just have, their appointments stacked, one after another, and they're like, "Dude, I have 45 minutes. That's all I got,"
Go.
You kind of learn, and I've been in that position as well. I've also done, haircuts that took me about an hour, and I'm cool with that, but it just depends on the hairstyle, their hair, and ultimately like how much times they come and get their haircut. Like, say if you're a weekly client and she still takes an hour and 30 minutes, I think that's like, I mean, I think that's kind of crazy.
Too long?
Yeah, it's too long, man. But it just depends on the person. I mean, some people like to sit down there, and that's like their calm,
Mhm.
time where they just chill and relax, and
I feel like also like my input of it when she's doing it, I'm like, she's taking her time. She's getting every little detail as much as
Yeah.
possible, like the blur and everything.
Yeah.
Make sure everything's nice and flow, including the beard as well. So I'm like, when I see it, I'm like, it's worth it. It's worth it. But sometimes it could be a little bit faster at times. It should be a little bit faster. Also, like for me, the main things I really like about barbers who are really fast, they know what they're doing and they don't take up too much time out of your day, And a lot of times too, man. Sometimes you don't always have to talk to the barber or anything. Sometimes you just want to, hey, what's going on? Hey, this is what I want.
Actually, I had a client today,
And just like that,
he actually mentioned to me, he's like, man, this is kind of, because usually he talks, and he actually mentioned to me today, he was like, hey, dude, man, I got off of work early, or really, really early. Like he worked overnights, and he was like, man, I'm tired. I'm like, you're good, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, man, some Clipper ASMR, and I'm good. He just,
gotcha.
yeah. But I don't mind it. You know what I mean? But for me, I think when I first started out, I think conversation helped me. It helped me, and it really did. It helped me like be there, but I'm at a point where I'm like, talk or no talk. Like,
Oh man.
you're getting a haircut, man.
The worst combo I've ever had is like when you go for a barber and they take forever, but they're also talking to other barbers across the
Oh yeah, I don't.
and just I'm like, oh my god, dude, just get me going, man. I'm trying to get out of here already.
I kind of think that's, and maybe I just have a different perspective, right? But I kind of think that's kind of like disrespectful in a sense, because at the end of the day, yes, the client is paying for a time, but I think, no, paying for the service, but ultimately, I think he's paying for the time. He's paying for the time as well. And some people do want to talk to their barber, and I think, if you're in a barber shop and there's like people right next to each other, and you're just having a full conversation with the barber that's right next to you, is like, well, you know, you might lose that client because you don't even want to build a relationship with this person, and a lot of people look at it as a dollar amount, but if you look at it, yes, you do make money, but it's just like, um, that might be less money because that guy might leave you because it can be something small as that. Like, you can give me the best fade, but
I've had that. I've done that before. Like where sometimes I'm like, okay, you take forever, but also you're talking, you're shouting in my ear.
Yeah.
With other barbers, you're talking to other barbers across the shop and stuff. And I'm like, hey, nah, man, I'm trying to get out of here like in 45 minutes tops. At
Well,
least.
some people even have like this negative like idea of barbershops. They think it smells like weed. They think the barber's a drug dealer. They think like some sketchy stuff happens at the barbershop, and ultimately there is some barbershops that are like that made that happen, right? But I mean, I would say there's amazing barbershops here in San Antonio and also New Braunfels that don't have that environment. But it's just like
Where do you think that stereotype came from? You think? movies or
I wouldn't say
shows?
movies. I think ultimately it's if we look at a barbershop in general,
Mhm.
to many people around the world, like a barbershop is a place where a man can go and, I don't know if you ever heard of the time that they talk about like, there's they're joking around about something or
Mhm.
they're talking about sports. It's just a place to for men to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And ultimately it's like now it's not just generalized men, it can be men or women can be
Mhm.
in the barbershop and it'd be perfectly fine, you know?
Right.
So um it's just a safe space. That's what I call it, a safe
Mhm.
space.
Safe space.
Yeah.
As they say, they tell you some crazy. What's the craziest stuff you think you've ever heard? You don't got to do full detail, but
Man, I've heard some crazy stuff, man. I really have. I've heard some crazy stuff to the part where I'm like, I'll be honest with you, I don't want you as my client anymore. You know what I mean? I've had some crazy people, man, but it's part of the gig, you know.
some weird stuff or what? I'm guessing.
Yeah, man, just stuff that like I would say like morally, like immoral, like in your morals, like it's not right, you know.
Mhm.
Like, you'd be like, I come in, and I hate my wife, and I'm like, dude, like this is the fifth time you come to my chair, man, and you tell me that, like.
They tell you that deep, like that stuff.
Oh yeah, man. They get deep. I mean, they get deep, and or some of them tell you about like their, on the flip side of it, they'll tell you about like their mental health and stuff like that. And I, I think I like that. You know what I mean? That you make somebody feel so comfortable that they're gonna break it down to you and be like, hey, man, like, I'm not having a good day. Like, what have you done
Mhm.
to do that? But it's like both sides of it. But I do not like you know what I mean? Like,
The negative.
yeah, I don't play. No, I mean, when they talk about mental health or anything like that, I'm all for it, man. Let's talk about it. But when it comes to like basically like somebody's just talking, just BSing or
Mhm.
trying to talk about like, they're unhappy or something like that. I'm like,
Mhm.
man, like, I mean, you're making it worse for yourself. Like, make
Yeah.
the decision. Like, you don't have to go through that. Nobody
Rip
has to
the
go through
Band-Aid off already. I don't
that.
know.
Exactly, man. So
That's one thing that people go through a lot. There's a lot of people out there who are in relationships, who work at a place or whatever it is, and they hate it, but they're scared of the outcome of their decision in the end. But I'm like, for my opinion, I was like, if I was them, I would just say, make that jump.
yeah,
Make that jump. Don't waste your time, man.
yeah.
Because next thing you know, 10, 15, 20 years go by and you're even more down
And
the hill and it's hard to get back out of it, you know?
I mean, I've had clients that are like, how old are you? And I tell them my age, and they're like, you're married already? I'm like, yeah, I'm married. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
it's not. I don't think there should be a timeline for anything, but
Mhm.
for the ones that are like complaining about like their wife or
Right.
stuff like that, like, well, my thing is like my question to them was always like, well, do you talk to is
Yeah.
there communication with
Hmm.
your wife? And it can get deeper than that, but it's just like I'm not, for me, I'm personally not the barber to be like,
Hmm.
or the person to be like, "Oh, complain about it," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I feel you, man. Yeah, yeah." No, I'll be like, "No, do something about it. Like, if you're not happy, dude, like, don't make each other unhappy. Like, leave or do something else, or, you know." But it's not always about that. There's always some crazy other stories that they talk about, and
I can only imagine, man.
yeah, man, it's crazy.
So running your own business, managing time management, connecting with your clients and stuff. How do you even put time for like your marketing and social media at times?
Um,
Do you have to like actually put that as like one of your appointments at times? Like, hey, or find strategies how to implement that will fit best for your
yeah.
business?
So I'm still, I'm still working on it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of barbers are still working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think it's one of those things where you just put in like I have a day, like a Mondays, usually Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the international no barbering day. I don't know why everybody is go to a barbershop. They're probably not open on a Monday. It's weird,
Mm-hmm.
but Mondays I usually use it as a model day. So I get a model. Um, and I create content or I create anything on those days. So I take a Monday. That is my day for you know uh social media stuff like that. But um I would say yeah, that's basically what it is. Just taking a day. Taking a day for yourself.
I feel like a lot of people, you see a lot of like in any industry, in the bars or cosmetics or whatever it is, they all kind of have the same type of format or the same type of like style.
Yeah.
Do you see that as well in the barber industry at times? Like kind of like they're just showing pictures before and afters, or they're just showing I don't know. Like I don't
Like
really
like trends or
something like that. Yeah.
of course. I mean, if somebody made something, I truly believe if somebody made something like, and it blows up or
Hmm.
it like gets viral or something like that, why not try it as well? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I personally, I'm not, I don't, it's crazy, but I'm really not like, I'm not really into that. I like to build like an aesthetic or a way that I like to. So if you looked at my Instagram, it's just black and white.
Hmm.
And that's just what I like. I think if for me, like breaking down like the black and white for me is like just taking colors, stripping and everything away from color, and just it's that raw like image of just a black and white with the grays or whatever in it. And that's for me, that's my style, you know. And I'm not the only like I'm not sitting here saying I'm the only one that's with that. I'm pretty sure there's other people that have seen that.
Right.
And I was pretty sure down the line I saw that one time and I got inspired. So it's inspiration throughout the whole group, you know. So barbering barbering at a whole, like if you look at it, you just think it's just cutting hair and stuff like that. No, uh there's convention like barbering conventions. There's a
Hmm.
barbering convention this I think this week, honestly, here in San Antonio. But the barbering convention, like there's a barbering convention. Like, you can be an educator for a brand. You can go back to your school and be an instructor. You can teach to people to cut hair. So there's a lot of avenues, and it isn't in every career field that you know that they do multiple things for that one thing, you know? So, um,
What do you feel like your business will land on? As an educator, or a person that's gonna build a community, or more of a personal brand? You feel like
I would say it's a I would say I would say it's more of like the last two of like
personal brand
a personal
and a
brand
community?
and community. At the end of the day, it's like, uh, I think that's really ultimately what it's about. Like, I mean, like,
Personal brands is the move right now.
yeah, so personal brand, so like Studio 999, like
Mhm.
I make merchandise. I've made multiple things, I have uh I try to make it more than what it really is. That's why I
Mhm.
never put like barbershop 999 or
Mhm.
no, it was just studio 999 as a whole. And I wanted to make something that can like be everlasting in a sense of like it can't like you can put in anything and it'll work. I
Mhm.
can make a bar called Studio 999 and it'd be a cool bar, you know what I mean? Like,
Right,
you
right.
know what I mean? I can make a just anything, and in general, just put that name. So that's what I wanted to do. Like, is just make it more. I didn't want to put it as like just one thing, one
Mhm.
direction. So, yeah. So like from merchandise to just a way of life, I would say is just that's kind of what my brand is.
There's a lot to it for sure. Because I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like a lot of barbers kind of like they have this decision to make at one point of their career. Like, should I just stick to renting a chair
Yeah,
for the rest of my life, or doing my own thing?
yeah.
What do you think about that? Like, you feel like a lot of people just rent chairs and just go by day and just do
Well,
their thing, or what do you think?
I like that question because there's nothing wrong with renting a chair,
Right.
There's nothing wrong with renting a chair. There's nothing wrong to being, like, loyal to your barbershop or
Mhm.
whatever it is. There's nothing wrong about running a barbershop or owning a barbershop. There's nothing wrong about having a studio or a suite, at a place. I think I think it just depends on the individual person. Like, what do you want out of this? Some people just want, I come in,
Mhm.
get the cuts done, I'm out, and I don't gotta worry about nothing except for my station, where I'm at, my little booth, that's it.
Yeah.
And then there's some people that are like, "Well, no, like, I wanna be in the studio, or I wanna be in the suite," and you have to kinda take charge of everything. Like, basically, it's a small barbershop, right? You gotta make sure everything is, you know, uh, up to date. Let's talk about, like, your licensing and stuff like that. You gotta make sure that, your marketing as well, because if you worked at a barbershop, hopefully that owner is helping you or
Mhm.
helping everybody, like, promoting the shop, right? And
I don't really see that much though.
honestly, something about it, because I have worked in a barbershop where it was, like, basically, like, you
Show up and go
just a
home.
place no, it's just a place to cut hair.
Mhm.
That's all it is.
It's like you're renting, and there's a
And then you
sprinter
kinda have to do
mentality.
everything else, and maybe maybe I am wrong. Maybe, like, it's up to the barber to promote, but I also believe, like, if you take care of your people, that are basically like, if we're talking about barbershop and, like, say there's multiple chairs in there, I feel like if you take care of those people, they take care of you. So,
Mhm.
in a sense of, like, you wanna see them win just as much as they wanna see the whole shop win, which is you? So, um, it comes to that, but, I mean, there's really no difference. It just depends on what are your individual goals. Like,
Right.
what do you wanna do with it? Like, what do you want out of barbering? Like, but I don't see a negative or positive side in it. I think it's just all just one plane of, like, how you wanna be a barber.
You experiencing opening your studio,
Yeah.
what was the biggest challenge you feel like you faced during that time? Instead of you finding the location, what was like structuring? Was it the cash flow? Was it the idea behind the brand? What do you think was the most challenging thing as a whole?
So we were lucky enough to for the studio to find us. That's
Mhm.
that's kinda how I break it down, but, um, I would say for us was basically, uh, it was definitely, if I can look back at it, it was definitely, like, the the thing. I would say it definitely has to be the how we want it to be structured.
Mhm.
Like, how, like, once the doors open, how do you wanna be structured? How can you separate a barbershop and, like, basically, like, a women's own thing and kinda like a men.
'Cause you don't see that
Yeah.
often. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kinda like, how can we make it in a place that it's comfortable for everybody? Anybody can come here and be comfortable, because if uh, like, a lot of things is like, a lady taking her son to the barbershop, she might feel out of place. She might feel like, oh, like, uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the same thing about a man going into a
Salon.
license, yeah, that's like he might feel uncomfortable. So it's like that was our thing, is like kind of like how can we form it together where it's comfortable for everybody, where anybody, you know, can come in and feel comfortable in our place. And that's
Mhm.
what we want to make.
Mm. Yeah, that's a tough
That was the
challenge.
tough. It was the toughest one, right? So
Mm. I feel that.
it was down to music. So it was like one wanted this music, the other one wanted this music. And I remember just being like, well, no, we gotta play this, and it's barbershop. You know what I mean? But it can be done. It can
Mhm.
be done. It definitely can.
Man, oh man. So what platforms are you focusing in on right now in marketing?
Platforms dude, man, shout out Facebook, especially in, where I'm at, New Braunfels. Shout out Facebook. They have, like, these cool little groups, like
Mhm.
Facebook groups, and I feel like when we're talking about community, that's like the focal point.
That's your bread and butter
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
your bread and butter, you know what I mean? Instagram,
Mhm.
I've always said it, like, I do it as, like, an art form, so
Mhm.
it's just like, ultimately, if somebody goes on my Instagram and be like, "Oh, like, I'm booking him because I just like his style," is because that's just the way that's my aesthetic, that's the
Right.
way I like it, so, uh my wife always gets on to me and she's like, "Dude, you need to post more haircuts. You need to do this or you need to do that." And I'm like, "No, I just want it. This is my branding. This is how I brand myself."
Mhm.
But I mean, Facebook and Instagram. I haven't got on TikTok. Everybody tells me to get on TikTok.
I would do it.
Yeah.
Or if you don't wanna get on TikTok, you can just go into the YouTube as well.
I like YouTube. I've
You
always I've always wanted to make like YouTube videos.
YouTube is like you don't even have to like, you can just wear those Meta glasses or GoPro
Oh yeah.
and just press record and just do
Yeah.
your thing and just cut it up in little transitions,
Yeah.
and people will just as you said, people just watch the before and after.
Yeah.
It's like when you see those people who make houses and pile of dirt into something, those people from, like, Indonesia or something,
Yeah.
people just like to see those long form content. Remember, YouTube is TV now,
Yeah.
so that's people like to see
It's
that type of stuff,
exactly,
you know?
no, I mean, I catch myself watching it, and also too, like, going back to the Instagram is like, you know, it's kind of a personal page at this
Yeah.
point. Like, it's not even like a business page, it's like a personal page. And I'd still have like my actual personal page,
Mhm.
but it's like I thought about deleting it because I'm like, dude, I
Just
do
focus on this.
I do everything on the barber page anyway. So
I feel that. What is the one thing that you feel like you wish someone would have told you when you first got into this journey as a barber?
um man. Man, I have throughout the way, man, I've had some amazing people or just mentors, or even if they were trying to mentor, like I thought they were like trying to help me out.
Mm.
Um, Tell me a lot of things, you know. So I think I learned, but also I think the approach that I took, uh, I never really worked in a barbershop. I would say if I can put you like, I'm talking about like it hasn't even been like a year I've ever been in a barbershop. I've always been like doing my own thing.
Yeah.
I've always done like a studio or a suite. Like I've always just been by myself. Uh, but I would say, going back to that, I would say definitely, um, everything can happen so quick. Like you can be working up to something, but you have to be ready to like navigate your way and through things because um in anything you do in life, I think there's gonna be some like hiccups or some bumps in the road and stuff like that. And I think for me, it was like uh I thought it was like my whole career. I would say I'll be honest with you, like my whole career since I've started barbering, it hasn't been that long, but since I've started barbering, that I've done this trade, uh, like everything was clicking, like
Mhm.
clicking. It was clicking, like everything that I can think of. Like I'm talking about, I'm opening a barbershop within my first year
Yeah.
of barbering. You know, that's like it's not unheard of, but it's pretty rare. You know,
Mhm.
so like so a lot of people will be like the OGs, like you know the older barbers be like, you got to work in a barbershop for 15 years before you open up one of these, or you got to do something.
Like,
But my thing is
yeah,
like, no, it's just like a typical
stereotype and
stereotypical thing. But my thing is like, I'm just not I'm just not a barber. Like you gotta I think all barbers, and I think this is one thing that but I found out myself, but you're just not a barber. Like the title, you're entrepreneur, you're a business person.
a lot
You
of
know?
titles for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like you have your own business. Even if you work at a barber shop and your thing, like you literally have uh like it's your own business. Yes, you work in somebody else's barbershop, but it's you see, yeah, this little place that you have, the
Mhm.
little section you have, it's yours, you know.
Mm.
So definitely take care of it. You know, put a lot of love into it because it'll give back. You know. So
Respect your word will come back twice as much.
no,
That's
exactly. Yeah.
as you said, like, how things were clicking and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of people who make, like you said, the jump
Yeah.
to become your own barber to a business owner and structure it, your studio,
Yeah.
people wouldn't do that in the first year or two because they kind of are scared of the outcome and stuff,
No.
right? But I feel like if there's it takes a special individual to feel like I feel confident in my decision, whatever happens going to happen. It's also going back to like I know trusting your instinct.
Yeah.
Like people feel like who make big leaps or who don't make let me rephrase that. People who don't make big leaps at times don't have the confidence what's gonna happen in the future,
Yeah.
at times. So they're kind of like second guessing themselves and stuff. But like if you have confidence of your instincts, whatever's gonna happen next,
Yeah.
go for it. That's what I always say because I always had that mentality too. Is like for a while, I was like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, I might when I used to be a truck driver, I'd be like, oh, if I get into a wreck, I'm gonna lose my job and stuff like that. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't know where I heard this from. Like, if you trust your instincts, you'll be fine.
No,
You know?
exactly. No, and then also too, I gotta like, I definitely gotta shout out, you know, my wife Alexis, because I mean, if you're doing it by yourself, it's one thing, but I was doing it with her. So, and then not only that, but she has a lot of experience. Yeah, I think we're up to like she has 7 years of doing what she's doing, being like self-employed and doing what she does. So I learned a lot from her, and then ultimately she's the one that kind of helped us throughout this whole like, you know what I mean? Like she was definitely the one that's like, no, we like the comforter, like the comfort you to be like, yeah, we got this, we're doing it. You know what I mean?
There's a saying that if you find a wife or a woman
Mhm.
that believes in you no matter what,
Yeah.
how does that change your mentality and approach in life at times and your goals when you have someone like that next to you?
Oh man, I mean, it I would say it makes life easier, you know? It
Mhm.
makes life easier because you know, that time that you are second guessing or the time that you know, like there's been times in my career where I'm like, dude, is this right for me? Or this, you know, even when I was in school doing it, you know, is this right for me? Or like, am I making the right decision? Like, you know, uh, there's always that one person that's there. And uh, it can be a girlfriend, wife, or just anybody, a friend, a good friend
Mhm.
that will be there to be like, no, you got it. Like, stay that, stay on that road. Like, you got it. You'll get it. And uh, talking about like we were talking about in the beginning before we got on the pod is like how we both got nominated for like the best of new Braunfels in art in the city, right?
Right.
And it was just like it's like things like that, like that that it's not just one individual person working towards something. It's two people working
Mhm.
towards something. So uh two is definitely better than one, but I mean, if you just have one, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have a support system around you, but it's just a support system for each other, telling each other like you're not crazy, like do it, like uh kind of just comforting those feelings that
No
you have.
negativity, just positivity and just moving forward and growth.
And of course, I mean, sometimes there's a little negativity,
Of
but
course,
I mean,
needs,
you know what I mean, but it's and I'm pretty sure if I've given her so many headaches, because I'm much type of person where I'm like, if I think about doing something, I will do it, dude. Like like I don't care. Like
Mhm.
I'll figure it out after, you know what I mean? But
Right, right.
but she's definitely give me some time to be like, hey, think about it, reevaluate it, and then get back into it.
So it's very important. Just giving advice to all the entrepreneurs, barbers,
Yeah.
whoever listens to this. What would you say? Find the right woman or partner in general?
I would say a partner in general, man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you have to have a partner. You know what I mean? Like I said, it can be anything in your support system. Maybe your mother, your father, your sister, anybody. Like a good friend that you had that will help you push you into that.
Mhm.
I've heard so many stories of just even people that open a barbers as two best friends.
Mhm.
They met each other in barber school
Mm.
and they opened up a barber shop together. So it's just a support system. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, find a awesome like Love Island shit, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But it's just like, no, like you just need to find
The right people
yeah,
around
the right people around you that support you. You know
you.
what I
Mhm.
mean? So
I
and
feel
then-
that.
and then I truly believe if those people truly care about you and you're about to make a decision that is not right, they'll tell you the truth. They'll tell you like that, don't do that.
Mhm.
But um some people are scared to say that. So
Oh yeah, man. It's hectic sometimes for people, man.
yeah.
You can overdo it for sure, for sure. What do you think about the barber industry? You feel like where it's gonna lead to in the next 5 or 10 years? You feel like it's gonna be the same, or I feel like for example, when people see a hammer,
Yeah.
it's a hammer. It stays the same
Yeah.
forever. That's how it is. That's how it works, and so it's
Yeah.
gonna work like that. They're not gonna redesign it. They're not gonna change the shape of it.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way as barbers in the barber
Yeah,
field? You
yeah.
feel like
No, no, no. Oh, hell no. It's constantly evolving, dude. Like I mean, like I said, I haven't been in the game that long, but I mean, I have been in the game just enough, and I'm a student of the game, and I always will be.
Mhm.
And my thing is like basically, I saw how people were cutting hair like 10 years ago, or 12, 10, 20 years ago. They had, we had cordless clippers now we do, but they used to cut with a cord,
Mhm.
like you have to connect it to the wall and stuff.
They'll like I seen that old ones from like 100 years ago. They would just like push it down and they'll cut it.
Oh, the little, yeah,
It's like
no, so it's constantly evolving, but I think over the past, I would say 10 years, it has like jumped like crazy. Like
okay.
it's huge now, you know what I mean? Like, you got people like, that are that are pretty big in the game, Vic Blends, and he does his interviews during like his haircuts and stuff like that. So it's I think people are starting to realize that it's bigger than just hair. So
Shoot. Oh, wow. No, I feel that. Because barber, I don't know, man. From my opinion, because I'm not in the field, I don't really
yeah.
see I don't know much about it. So I can't really say. So you coming from you, only time will tell what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
The barber field for sure. I'm trying to find out how much money the barber field make in 2024, but she's giving me a hard time right now. Shit. No madness. Hey, what type of shoes do you recommend people who are gonna start this journey? You feel like
Man, I had to learn that one pretty bad. Dude, like obviously like you started this career and you're like, man, like I want to look fresh and stuff like that. Nah, I'm to a point where I'm like comfort. So I wear I've had Hoka's. I've had Hoka's. I just recently bought a pair of On Clouds.
Dude,
Yeah,
man,
and
they're
yeah,
life saving.
and if you're a barber, like, and you work at a barber shop or a studio,
Mm-hmm.
do you just get they sell these anti-fatigue mats.
Mm-hmm.
Get the mat, like, save your knees, your back, your joints, like posture, like, it's so much things that go into it,
Right.
so definitely invest into the longevity of yourself for the career. So
Don't look fresh. Feel comfortable.
you can look fresh, but still be comfortable. So
Outfit of the day, no shoot. You don't see no a woman barber wearing high heels all day like that.
and
Hell,
there be out there,
for real?
there's some wild ones out there, but
That's weird
I
how that
mean,
works, right?
hey, if the shoe fits, word, I guess. So
Anything you want to say to any potential barbers who are gonna get into this field anytime soon?
man, just be creative, be yourself, and be a trailblazer in the industry. Like, this industry goes multiple directions. You can go anywhere. Like, you can do anything in this industry, and you can create anything. So I would say definitely, um, just be genuine, just be yourself, and love what you do. Because if you love what you do, it wouldn't it doesn't this like my trade, it doesn't feel like work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not working. I'm just living my life and doing what I truly like, my passion. So,
Right.
so I always tell people, cutting hair has changed my life. It might not change somebody else's. It might get somebody to the next goal they need to get to, or it might get them some fast cash. But for me, it's like, it's more than all that.
The
Like,
marathon.
take away, take away the value, the money value, or take away any of those things. Like, I truly love what I do. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Beautiful. JP. Thank you, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much.
Let's do it. Thank you.